After Japanese Prime Minister Takaichi Sanae's comments on possibly intervening in a Taiwan contingency, Chinese officials have only grown more strident. First was a now deleted tweet from China's Consul General in Osaka saying NEX should be cut, spiraling up to China's Defense Ministry directly saying Japan would suffer a quote-unquote crushing defeat, and the government warning its citizens against traveling to the country.
日方若不深刻汲取历史教训，胆敢铤而走险，甚至武力介入台海局势，必将在中国人民解放军的铜墙铁壁面前碰得头破血流，付出惨痛代价。
This is a major test of Sanae's leadership. Only 2 weeks after she met with Chinese President Xi Jinping in South Korea at this year's APEC summit to stabilize relations. Even before becoming prime minister, Sanae's stance on Taiwan and controversial issues like Japan's actions in World War II had China wary of her. The Japanese government insists that its position on Taiwan has not changed.
Issues over Taiwan need to be resolved via dialogue in a peaceful manner, and that's what we expect, and that's the government's consistent stance. Also, the government's stance on the 1972 Japan-China Declaration is the policy, and that remains unchanged.
An op-ed in the Chinese state-owned People's Daily said Sanae is the first Japanese leader since 1945 to threaten China. Prior Japanese leaders usually followed the U.S. policy of maintaining strategic ambiguity on Taiwan's defense, and what steps they would take if a conflict were to break out. Yet despite the pressure from Beijing, which included summoning Japan's ambassador to lodge a complaint, Takaichi has not retracted her comments.
Beijing trying to impose more pressure, both verbally and diplomatically, to try to force Takaichi back to retracting her comment and then returning to the more long-standing policy that Japan has always implemented in place with regard to the issue of Taiwan. I think for her to backtrack her comment is probably quite unlikely in the near term unless there is an obvious domestic pushback against what she had said.
Taiwan is just over 100 kilometers away from Japan's easternmost island, making an invasion an acute concern for Japan's security. Japan constitutionally does not have an army and cannot deploy its forces except in cases of self-defense. And it's an open question whether a Taiwan Strait conflict would qualify. Joseph Wu and Lery Hiciano for TaiwanPlus.